might be live right now. Just get some stuff ordered here. Okay then. So, let's see. Yep, it appears that I'm live for upwards of the past 30 seconds. Okay, so, welcome. I know it's been quite a while since I last streamed. A lot has happened with the world, and one thing that may be noticed is I have significantly less beard. That's of course because we're supposed to wear masks. Well, you can't really do that when you have a, depending on whether or not I straightened it that day, anywhere from a 7 to 9 inch beard. Makes it kind of difficult. So, unfortunately, and for the greater good, I shaved almost all of it off. So, anyway, got that out of the way. So, now, returning with another link to the Past Randomizer stream. This one is, assuming my title is correct, I'm actually going to check and make sure that I actually went live. That would be kind of important. Okay, yes, good. It does show that I'm on. So, title is correct. It is open 7-7 defeat Ganon, and just for a little bit of an extra challenge, I decided to go for the Maps and Compass Shuffle. So what that means for anyone who may not be aware is that the maps and compasses for each dungeon are in the general item pool and are not locked in between the specific or locked to the specific dungeon. I did not shuffle small keys and large and big keys. They are still within the respective dungeons. If they're all shuffled, that's of course what's known as key sanity. I didn't want to go quite that far tonight, mostly because I didn't know exactly how long I'd be streaming tonight in terms of how much time I'd have, since I, thankfully, at least for myself, I'm still working right now. And, obviously plan to keep working, which means still getting up early in the morning for that 9 to 5 job, or 8 to 5 job. So, yeah, that's enough rambling from me as far as that goes. But basically, this is a, it's still 7-7, so I have to run through all that. I should also preface with I just recently switched from a generic USB controller to an actual Super Famicom controller. I am still, as of this moment, playing through emulation. I don't yet have a one-chip SNES or anything modded, but it is using an adapter that goes from the SNES controller port directly to a USB adapter. So, without much more ado, let's go ahead and see if this wants to behave for me, okay? I should probably minimize my stream so I actually see things in real time instead of the slight delay that comes along with it. So, alright. Now, the reason why I wanted to mention the controller is the D-pad does feel different. It's, a real controller, one could argue. But this is literally my first day playing with this. I've only done a few practice runs, a few tests, not even full, complete speed runs. So we're just going to have to see exactly how this works out. All right. Well, here we go. All right. Now, typically I'm a fan of a bottle early on, but I'm sorry, a sword early on. But I won't argue with an early bottle, because then by the time I make myself to make the loop through CAC, I can stop at Sick Boy and don't worry about isolating him later, which I have done before, and really kind of hurts when it's a major progression item. Alright, so that way, start getting some rupees in case I don't wind up with bombs. Oh, look at that, bombs. And I'm already messing up by not selecting that. I have a bottle. Here, go ahead. I don't want to be, so just go ahead, kill them. Go ahead. Ooh, especially then. Okay, I'll take that. Okay. Of course, currently we're starting out like pretty much every seed from almost every streamer and player. So we're just gonna have to see how this goes. Oh, good. The audio does sound alright. I had to tweak the levels because RTX voice apparently at some times I wasn't talking quite loud enough, and it was treating me as background noise. So. And I do still have a lot of tweaking I have to do. I want to be able to get, better audio set up, but I'll take those. Of course, I'd really like to have a swingy. That's not a swingy. Well, at least I don't have to buy bombs. Alright, so the D-pad doesn't seem too bad. I was having a few issues with the Ice Palace bomb jump earlier, but I think I'm just a matter of getting used to exactly how I need to tap it. And I gotta figure out a way to actually get my Twitch chat over here so I can see it on my primary gigantic ass ultra wide monitor instead of looking over here and, who knows how long it's been since someone actually said something before I notice it. So I'll have to figure that one out. Oh good, merchant money. There we go, map to Eastern. So now when we come out we can take a peek and see what Eastern is. Okay, apparently the game really wants me to have bombs. Okay. Oh, fifth heart. Okay. At least my back's slowly feeling better. Hey, swingy! I didn't get anything else yet, did I? Nope. Just bottle and swingy. Okay. Let's take a look at Eastern and see what it is. Eastern is a crappy pendant. Okay. Alright. Well, at least it wasn't, 20 rupees for my 100. Alright. Early bottle. Have something good for me. That doesn't count. I never need a compass. Now, of course, what the compass will do is once I get to Ice Palace... Oh, another bottle. Once I get to Ice Palace, then the compass will show me how many chests are in the dungeon and how many I've checked so far, and I forgot to go the other way and check this. You can normally, since I have a sword, you can go the way of cutting down the bushes and it's slightly faster. But I'm also not a speedrunner because, well, I'm slow. But I still try to beat the games as fast as possible. You know, but I'm not like a dedicated, speedrunner that goes for world records or anything like that. I just enjoy playing the game. Ooh, okay. Smart move coming this way first without checking. Okay. Now I just have to remind myself, out loud, do not skip the dam. So many countless times. I get all the way down to Moldorm Cave, I make my way all the way around, and then if I haven't found any progression, I start to get, I don't want to say frustrated because that's not true, but I start to think, okay, what could I have missed from an in-logic perspective? And then I bring up my map and I look and I'm like, you stupid dumbass, you forgot to do the dam. And then there's always something there to, move me forward. And typically, when it does end up being something here of progression, it's after I've already checked the Gina, and that's been like, I don't know, 10 arrows, or something otherwise wasteful, that I wind up finding something here. So let's see if that continues. Mark my second bottle. Bombs! That's okay. I will take those because I have room for them in my inventory. Let's see if Moldorm has anything for me. Thank you. I'll take that. Nope. This way. Yeah, come on. Come here. There we go. Alright. Hey, I managed to not fall in a pit. Alright, got a glove. Way more bombs than I need. And a map of Misery Mire. Okay. Now I can't check that till I get Dark World access, which I'm still nowhere near. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do get out of here. I'm gonna go over and check Ice Rod Cave, and then I got a decision to make. Because I have a sword, I have a glove, and I have Ice Rod. I'm sorry, I have Fire Rod, which, with V31 of the randomizer, does put Dark Cross in logic, which that part I'm not worried about because I can get through Dark Cross without having a light source. But that could also, because I do in fact have the Fire Rod, that means that there logically could be some progression in there. Skull Woods. Another one to check when we get to the Dark World. So, okay. I'm not gonna fake Flipper because I don't have enough rupees for Zora. So, and I also don't have Moon Pearl, which means fake Flipper would only get me guaranteed one item with Hobo. Wouldn't get me anything else. So, we'll start from the back. And if I happen to get the key, I'll work my way through Dark Cross from the reverse. If I can remember the way the rooms are laid out. Because I don't normally come through Dark Cross backwards. So I have done it. I just don't have the exact path memorized to do it. So who knows? I might take the easy way out. I'm undecided. And that's also assuming that I find a key in here. Well, that solves that. No key means I'm not going through the back route. Alright, let's go do front of escape. Game is just so much fun to play. I mean, this is easily what I spend, you know, almost all my time on the computer playing. I mean, you know, I have what I consider to be a beast of a computer. Of course, obviously, you know, anyone from PCMR, or I should say r/PCMR, would certainly disagree, or at least would most likely disagree. But, you know, a few months ago, built myself a upgrade. I had an i7 7700, but with wanting to get into streaming and, you know, eventually streaming more demanding games than Link to the Past. Oh, there's my key. I wanted to have more than just a aging quad core. So I ended up building a, I had say Ryzen 7 3700, 3700X, which actually I think that's the only way it comes if my memory serves correct. Come on. Yeah, I'm getting used to these buttons. Okay. Anyway, so, you know, built a Ryzen 7 3700X, 32 gigs of RAM, 512 NVMe SSD for OS and for some games. But mostly everything is stored actually on a 12 terabyte array that I have in the computer. And then I have, hammer, nice. The processor is running at 4.2 all-core overclock, which technically is below the boost clock that it's capable of, but that only boosts 1 to 2 cores for a short period of time, whereas mine I have set up to actually be able to run 4.2 all the time, which better benefits for gaming because you get more juice. You know, you get basically games that, you know, don't support multiple cores too well. That's where Intel tends to still have an advantage because it will have they have higher clock speeds on their CPUs in general. When it comes to multi-threaded performance, they get smoked by AMD, but single thread, not so much. So I overclocked this to run 4.2 across all 8 cores, and then for a graphics card, I have an RTX 2080 Ti, you know, which is just an absolute beast. You know, short of the Titan RTX, you're not getting any better cards right now until the 30s come out later this year, which, you know, I'm not worried about myself. So, you know, it's a beast of a machine, and yet this is what I play, you know, more than anything else. That's what I was getting to with that incredibly long-winded run there. Where you are? Where are you? There you go. Yeah. This way. Yeah, look at that. And you have nothing of use for me. Okay. But I did get a hammer, so that's good. So... guessing... Let's see. Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, because I don't have a Moon Pearl, so logically I do not yet have Dark World access. I can get there with the hammer and the glove, but I can't do anything yet. And now I could get there. There's a few possibilities. I could get to the Dark World. Now, Aga is not in logic because I do not yet have the lamp, which is what's required for Aga Tower. But what I do have being the nope, I take that back. I was gonna say that it could theoretically be Skullwoods' Green Pendant. I was gonna say I could theoretically be Moon Pearl on Pyramid, which is still possible, but that would have to see me come through by way of Aga. Oh, never mind. Nope. Never mind. Alright. So... Eastern is a pendant, which means I don't want to beat it. Do I want to go through... No, I don't. Not yet. We'll go and start checking out the Dark World. So... I'd rather not go to Eastern yet because I don't have a bow, so I can't beat it. And since maps and compasses are shuffled into the general item pool, that does mean that there is no guarantee once you get X number of items in a dungeon. It does not guarantee that that you're not leaving something behind. So, in that case, I'd prefer, if I am going to wind up going to Eastern, I would rather beat it. I would rather complete it in order to make sure I'm not missing anything on R mode. Another useless compass. Hera. Yeah, that about sums up what Hype Cape has been for me lately. Anything but. Alright, what else do I know now? Okay, so we know Maya is a pendant. And we already know what Skullwoods is. Okay. So, let's see what else we got here. Take a trip over this way. And let's go see. We'll do Stumpy, Digging Game, and then we'll make our way up into Village of Outcast. Now, given that I only have 7 hearts and no real method of no method of protection like Burna or like Burna or Samaria or Cape, I would prefer to not go into Thieves Town yet. Thieves Town is beatable. And I have the hammer, so I could full clear it. But blind with 7 hearts is very hit or miss. Now I do have a blue potion, so actually I may do it. Because with a blue potion, I can make my way through Thieves Town. Have something good for me? Hey! Speak of Samaria, and apparently get Samaria. Okay. So in that case, I will be beating Thieves Town while I'm here. Somehow I managed to dig up a cane. I'm not going to do blacksmith chain yet because I don't have a mirror and I don't want to have him following me everywhere. Not right now. Yeah, since compasses, all they do is tell you the number of items in the dungeon. No, it's of no use to me. Because I already know how many chests are in a dungeon, because I'm used to full clearing them. Okay. Alright, so now that I have Zora money, I'm not going to go in here just yet. I'm going to do a chess game first. If I happen to come out of here and not really have much in the way of progression, then I could, then most likely, oh, another bottle. Okay, and that's a magic refill. Then what I would likely do is end up at that point fake flippering, because since I have the Moon Pearl, I can visit Waterfall Fairy. Now, I do have to be careful in here, because I forget the names of these guys, but the red ones, damn, do they hurt. Okay. Enough of the compasses. Those guys, they hurt. Now, for some reason, that Stalfos doesn't hurt much. I think he only does a half heart or 1 heart, maybe? Which is abnormal, because typically when you're playing this game, you know, the original or whatever, by the time you... Darn it. By the time you get here into Thieves Town is when the enemies are starting to actually hurt. They start to hit hard by the time you get in here. But then for some reason he does like a half heart or 1 heart or something not too much. Alright. Well, that was guaranteed to be in that chest or this one over here. And another compass. Hey, but it's the one for Thieves Town. Which, to be fair, still equally useless. Don't need it. Hop, spit, go. I will leave that heart container for later. Or heart piece for later. Heart refill for later. There! 3rd time! I didn't even need that. I think this is called the Hellway for here. I'm not a big fan. Mostly because of those things. So, I will typically take the extra time to kill them instead of trying to dodge them. Because it usually doesn't end well for me. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Now, of course, I'll have to actually watch this. I'll have to watch this VOD back later. See how many of my random sounds got clipped out by RTX voice. Because if anyone has been watching, anyone on here has been watching Andy streams lately. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Beer's going to be doing that a lot. Ever since he got his 2070 and activated RTX voice, which of course, you know, we were all strongly recommending to him, you know, in chat. It has, it really changes a lot of things, you know. Because it has AI-based noise cancellation or noise isolation, whichever you want to call it. a lot of things like I don't have a mechanical keyboard, but if I did, I could start banging away on it, and you wouldn't hear it. It would not come over my mic. But things like a throat clear like that, most likely, I'll have to go back and look at that around the 26-minute mark. Probably would sound really weird. You know what? Let me get the hammer, because hammer, and I will fill up my health down here, or at least I will grab a heart, because the hammer does tempered sword damage. So since I'm in here with fighter sword, you know, I'd rather do more damage than that. Now, of course, fighter sword for this dungeon as a whole, not really a lot of fun. But on the plus side, it does not affect blind, because blind it takes the same damage from every sword or every weapon, even the hammer. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna full clear. That's good, without having to come back. So as I was saying, with blind, regardless of your sword or weapon, 3 hits per head is all it takes. Doesn't matter what sword it is. Okay. I guess we're gonna get some test of background noise right now because someone is home and about to come in. Based on how loud they're closing their door. Yes, I can hear that. Through my closed windows and door in the house. I can hear that. There we go. Alright, let's give it a shot. Alright. See if I can manage to not die to blind. Okay, there's one head down. Okay. Not taking the risk. I'm gonna have this ready to fire off. This blind hurts, so I'm gonna use it. Alright. And it was abandoned. Okay, so let's see. I technically can beat Skull, but with Fighter Sword, I am not going in there. So, don't have the mirror. Let me go. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go take a peek and see what's on Bumper Ledge, so I'll know whether or not I am potentially going to need to find the magic cape. Go this way and hopefully not stir up those pterodactyl ass things or whatever they are. Okay, don't need that. So, alright. Back to the light world and do some fake flippering. I can get this fake flipper on the first attempt with this controller. I better jump on this side. Nope. That was my fault though, because I wasn't facing all the way. Okay, let's try that again. That should do it right there. Nope, wasn't quite close enough. Ah! Damn bomb. That should do it. There we go. Okay. Okay. See if Hobo's got anything good. Now, of course, this is out of logic, so it wouldn't be official progression. But that's definitely not progression. Guess after this, I would. I don't know. Forgot to look and see what's on Highlight Island. Let's do that first. Nothing useful. Okay. Don't hit me, because I will die. Okay, there we go. Okay. Well, nothing good there. Why did I do that? Although it doesn't matter anyway. Nothing on Zor Ledge. So now I just gotta walk the long way because I lost my water walking. Alright, that's progression. I'll take it. Oh yeah, that's right, I have the map of the thing. Okay. Hera is a crystal. I haven't found a good crystal yet though. Okay. Well, it's not in logic, but I can get to and beat Hera, so let's go do it. Now, if while I'm up here, I happen to find the flute or lamp, I won't find both. But if I find one of them up here, then that tells me somewhere outside of Death Mountain the other is located, because those are the only two ways to get up here. So. Down here, over here. Went too far. Wait. There we go. Okay. I didn't realize there were bats around here. I don't normally go that far down. I know there's bats over this way. There we go. Okay. Getting dead rocks. Safe. Nothing useful. From him anyway. But at least now I have a save point. Hey, I'm gonna get a Master Sword out of it at least. And I'm not going in there. Books, so no reason to go in there. Alright, big key. Why climb stairs when you can just mirror? Some cat. Okay. Well, now I know I don't have to go to Catfish. Oh, look at that. Now I can go back and beat Houston if I need to. Come on. Give me, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. I wasn't. Okay, so pod has a unique item. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a useful item, because a unique item is, well, anything unique. Yes. Okay, that'll speed the game up a lot. It opens up some checks too. Okay. Every time I try to do that, I fall like a dumbass. So I'm just not going to. He's been very trolly to me lately, so I'm gonna fill up. Off of the mirror so I don't send myself back down. See, like that. Come here. Come on. Come here. Get over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get over here. Come on, you trolley. I should use the hammer because then he doesn't aggro. He doesn't enrage. Really? Come on. Get over here. Really? Not normally that bad. Oh, and tempered sword. Okay. I didn't mark that. Let's see, I got a text message we can take a look at here real quick. Alright, just give me a second. Just want to answer this, respond to this message real quick. Sorry about that. It's not an emergency message, but at the same time, time sensitive. So, just wanted to respond real quick. Okay, we'll start here, and then we'll come back up and do Paradox. Okay, well, since I am still in green mail, 10th heart is not progression, but also not terrible. Okay. Bombs and a heart piece. Okay. Yes, at the same time while I'm here, check Super Bunny. I can check Super Bunny. I can go and see what it would take to, I can see what it'll take to get into Turtle Rock. So, we had some options. Why my camera so dark? Should not be that dark. Hey, get. Definitely adjusting to this D-pad. It is arguably better, but I'm just not used to it. cancel. If you haven't done that before, of course, this only works on the Japanese 1.0 and of course the randomizer since they're based on it. But while a block is moving, you can push the mirror to remove it. Turtle Rock. Alright. Just gonna open that while I'm here. Take a quick peek and see what's on Sky Island. Nothing that I need. Okay. Because if I needed that, then I would have just quickly went and got that. Okay, get in Turtle Rock is Bombos. Do I need to? Yes, I will need to beat it. It is a good crystal. Okay, I'm done here for now. Just check something real quick. Okay, what do I want to do next? This will do Bonk Rocks. Do Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. Okay. Completely forget what was in King's Tomb. I don't think I forgot to mark anything. Nope. Okay, well, whatever it was. Oh. I can do that at least. Because we know it's 7-7 defeat. And I know that. Oh, I marked Maya wrong. Maya's a crystal, Turtle Rock is a good pendant. There we go. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do next? I'll do Smith Chain. Because Smith Chain is in logic. Since I got the mirror and mitt without going to Death Mountain. So, let's see if there's anything there. Probably gonna do Skullwoods after this, because with 11 hearts and Tempered Sword, I'm not afraid of Mothula. Let's check Hammer Pegs also. Another Japanese 1.0 item dash. Nope. Don't need no stinking compass. Alright, well now I'm definitely gonna do that. Just gonna finish this chain out with a quick stop by K45. Nope. Hey. Come with me if you want to be opened. Except I'm gonna leave you behind. It moved with me, so I have the follower state, and now I just have to mirror back pretty much on top of the desert guy, and I don't have to worry about carrying it with me. So right about here. And before the game realizes it's not with me, he'll open it. Desert Palace. Okay. Without the flute, I can't do anything in Desert Palace. I can't get to it right now. Alright. So I'm guessing at this point there's going to be some progression in Skullwoods. Let's go find out. Okay. Do not want to fall down there first, because that could be a save and quit situation. This way I get a few checks first. Yeah. Now at least I know I won't get stuck down here. do a full clear. Nope, go away. Okay. See if I can do this on the first try. Nope, too far on that one. Okay. Out of here. That should do it. There we go. Alright, red mail. Let's go clear her out. Okay. Stop and grab this key over here. That did not work as planned. Okay. Grab some parts while I'm there. Normally I would kill with magic, but I'm just a little low, so... I think I can use a... Oh, apparently I can use a key when I'm in bunny form. Okay. Alright, that should give me 3 fire rod shots, plus I got 10, so... Not worried. Come on, time to die. There we go. Okay. Well, I wouldn't really call that progression, but... Butter sword. Why am I... Alright. What am I missing? Technically I can beat Pod, and it's possible that well, I can beat Eastern too, so as much as I'm not eager to get the third pendant, let's go ahead and go for it. But first, since I have my boots, I should have done this earlier after I turned in the chest, but go see if Agina's got anything for me. Yeah, definitely should have done this earlier, but live and learn and get loves. Of course he had some sort of progression. Normally if I route him in with an early check, he's got 10 arrows or 3 bombs or some shit like that. But not this time. Now, you know what? Hold on. Let's redo that. Because since I haven't found the powder yet, I'm gonna go fake powder before I turn that in. Use another little trick. Because that's considered part of Hyrule Castle. You can mirror and skip having to walk. Okay. Watch is telling me to wash my hands. No. I just did. Before I started streaming. Alright, I'm gonna go fake powder and then I will turn the mushroom in. So fake powder, if you're not familiar, allows you to trick the game into thinking that you just used the powder, when in fact you used the mushroom. So, it requires Samaria and the mushroom to do it. And you have to have no magic like that, so let's see if it works. Got it. Okay. Anything good? Nope. My 4th bottle. Okay. At least now I can turn the mushroom in and not have to worry about potentially missing an opportunity. I'm probably gonna check out Pod after this, so. Oh. I also never checked the pyramid this whole time. I'll take that. Nope. Okay. Alright, return to original plans. Speaking of which, now that we know where they are, we know for a fact that those are crystals. Oh, I believe it's right here. Yep, there we go. That doesn't do me any good. Okay. Right there. There we go. Tasty beer. And it seems appropriate based on the game. So you're telling me there's a chance. Alright, let's see what we got. Pod has a lot of checks, most of which I can do without the lamp. But I've also encountered the lamp in Pod before, so in this case, silver arrows. Fully loaded, red mail, butter sword, silver arrows. Okay. What you got for me? Well, I already know that. You gotta learn the bottle glitch here. I know I can go backwards, but we'll just go the normal way. Because since this is not key sanity, I have more than enough keys. No. I didn't give you permission to do that. Now we know one of these is going to be a key. If I understand my logic correctly, one of these has to be a key. In order to prevent getting locked out. I've also found the lamp in Eastern, so who knows? Could be there. Could also be in Turtle Rock. I have access to Turtle Rock. That would suck, but it could be. Okay, I can do that one in the dark, but I prefer not to. Alright, hook shot. opens up Hookshot Cave, so that's pretty good. Oh, and I don't have any magic. Whatever. I know my way through, but I'll do this anyway. Okay. Down we go. Alright. Okay. Do I want to navigate through it as a dark room? No, I don't right now. Let me go check out Easton first. I don't have it comfortably memorized, so I'm just gonna play it safe. Alright. Come on. There we go. Okay. Of course, we know that this chest cannot contain the lamp, because that's out of logic. It can, however, contain something completely and totally useless, like 20 rupees. Okay, nice dodge. Really? Well, at least I know where my lamp is now. Okay. Now, the reason that's in logic is because the room to progress initially through the big chest room has the lamps or torches that you can light with the fire rod, which then puts him in logic to wind up finding the lamp. All right, let's go beat Pod. Alright. We know that there is not going to be a key in here, because I've already got all the keys. Other than that key, of course. Okay. Now, I normally do this with arrows, but I'm going to see if I can do it with cane. And not fall. There we go. Third time's the charm, apparently. That was just about the principle. I know I didn't have to kill him. Come here. I had full health, so I don't know why I went for that. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 8. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's rude. Hey. Hey. So, no swamp, No Ice Palace. No Mire. Beat Tower of Hera. Wait, didn't I? Hold on. Yeah, I beat Tower of Hera. I just forgot to mark it. Okay. So... I guess from a dungeon perspective, the next one is Turtle Rock. So... I guess we'll go hit up, Hookshot Cave. Right? Let me think. Grumpy Fish has cash. Can't get to Ice Palace. Can't do Swamp. Can't get the bomb yet. Already did Stumpy. Digging game. Did all that. Ah, Graveyard Ledge. Didn't do Graveyard Ledge yet. Okay. So let's do Graveyard Ledge. Let's see this way to get there. It's probably similar timing. Let's see. Let's just do it anyway. Okay. Plus then I have a save to account for my newly acquired items. Yeah, that would have been faster. Going to flight point 5. Ah well. No drop frames. Okay. Not that I'd expect to. Go Files Gigabit. Files Gigabit over a wired connection. Desktop is hardwired. Why did it, what? Wrong button. Nope. Okay. So, let's head up to Death Mountain. Do Hookshot Cave. See if I can do this. There we go. I don't know why I went that way. I need flippers. Flippers will pretty much open the game up for me. Let me see. If I'm using my brain correctly. I need flippers. Yeah, all I need is flippers, ice rod, and flute. I need flippers, ice rod, and flute. We already know from earlier that there's nothing useful on Sky Island, so I can skip that. I have a new follower, Rain Fox. I wonder who that is. I guess I'm gonna go in Turtle Rock and hope to find the ice rod to avoid a double dip. Oh. You unfollowed me? Wow. I mean, wow. But at the same time, thanks for confirming my alerts work. So, appreciate that. Anything useful for me? Nope. So hopefully I'll find ice rod, and in terms of progression, I'd probably want to find also the flippers, because flippers will open up Ice Palace and Swamp for me. So I'd like to find flippers and ice rod ideally. I'll settle for just flippers, but preferably both. Nope, didn't go far enough. Didn't go far enough. And then the wrong direction. Or not. Didn't go far enough. There we go. Wow. That was all kinds of terrible. All kinds of terrible. Yeah, I'm here. Hate these guys. There we go. Oh, that worked out. I'm pretty sure I saw you on my followers list earlier today, so maybe when you first tuned into the stream? Who knows? Not skipping anything, we're doing a full clear. Because we still need items. That wasn't too bad. Yep, fire that. It was off. And we will check Mimic Cave while we're here. Always. There we go. I always do that wrong. Oh, boomerang. Oh, and I do have Burna. Don't want to forget to mark. Strimmer, you didn't mark. Yeah. Well, at least I didn't show up with no magic like I've done before here. Not fun. I don't have the best of luck here, so I will be re-entering. In the event of death, it'd be easier to get back. Because I do not have the best of luck here on Laser Bridge. Like that. Oh, well, there you go. There's Flute. So that opens up Mire. Ah! Alright, I guess I'll use Burna. Come on. I just cannot walk that line. I've tried so many times. And the key to beat it. Okay, so I can't beat it. But now I have access to Mire. So let's go do that. So I have what's needed to beat it. And I also can get into Desert without the book. So let's go take care of those. At least we know Ice Rod cannot be in Pyramid Fairy. Because Pyramid Fairy is locked behind Turtle Rock Crystal. Play the song of our people. go check out Meyer. Before we go into Meyer, well, actually, I don't know if I can. It could require ether. So, I can't even guarantee that I have access. I said access to Meyer area. And it is not. It is Bombo's good. Okay. But, we're going to check a few other things first. We're going to check Meyer Shed. This burned me the other, a seed I was running the other day. Oh man, did this burn me. I completely forgot about Meyer Shed, and, well, in this case, no. But I forgot about Meyer Shed, and major progression. Major. That sucked. Okay. Alright, well, let's go beat Meyer. I have everything I need. And then I'll do desert afterwards. So, we're making progress. At this point, I just need flippers and ice rod. Oh, I don't have magic. Oh, you... I jinxed myself with that. Yep. I jinxed myself with that because I made a comment about how I wound up in Turtle Rock without magic. It's alright. No big deal. I will just go and beat Desert first. And then beating Desert will get me a magic fill and I'll be all set. And it is in fact boots locked. What? Alright. So this is either going to be an item or a small key. I'm thinking small key. 50-50 shot. I'm usually wrong. Not in this case though. Ooh, give me that. I already had full health, so can't tell if that was sank hard or not. And there's my ice rod. Well, at least it wasn't a mistake going to Turtle Rock. Because, unless of course, let me think. Need mirror to get in here because I don't have the book. So, no, I think we'll have to see if I find the book. If I find the book in an area that was accessible, then Turtle Rock was a double dip without necessity. But if I find the book somewhere that was locked behind the flute, so like if I find it in my, why did I just do that? That's in the next one. So if I find it, like if the boss here has it, or if I find it in Meyer, then that means Turtle Rock was a required double dip. Which is okay, you know, because now that I know there's most likely nothing else in Turtle Rock that I need prior to beating the game, or, you know, heading to GT, I will more than likely not go back there until I'm ready for GT. Although you never know, because in a semi-recent seed that required I don't remember the exact logic behind it, but I had to do 3 visits to Turtle Rock, and the final one had flippers. So, that sucked. There we go. Hey, gave me something good. Like that, the book. Okay. So that tells me that Turtle Rock was a required double dip, because there was no other way that I was getting in here. Okay. Now we're gonna hope that Meyer has my flippers, because that's all I need. Flippers is all that stopped me right now. Flippers is go mode. Because then I can do Ice Palace and Swamp. Both of them are fairly quick. I can't do Icebreaker, so I'm not that quick in that respect. I will be attempting the Ice Palace bomb jump, because I think I might have finally figured out the proper way to line it up in practice today, so we'll have to see. But I think so. At least not getting full clear Meyer. Really? Alright, big key. Now we know that won't be in the vanilla spot. Now at this point, if I had my flippers, I wouldn't proceed any further. I would go straight to Vitreous. But since I don't have my flippers, I don't have that luxury. So far, I definitely still have to adapt to this D-pad compared to what I was using, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's an original D-pad, you know. It's not aftermarket made 20 plus years after the system was killed off. I didn't really need that. But I'm no. Now we're 46 in, so we're almost in go mode. Not too bad. We're just a flipper away from go mode. Oh, I should have grabbed that first, because I don't think that's going to last. Oh, it did. I know there's a hint up there, but I'm not worried about it. At this point, all I need is flippers. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah. So this dungeon is nothing but items left. So I've already got the map and compass before I came in here. Items and keys, of course, you know. But what I mean is I won't be finding any maps or compass. Apparently, the randomizer gods deemed it necessary that I get 2 different shields in here. Okay, well, at this point it's just whatever Vitreous has for me. Which thankfully having silver arrows means it will be a quick fight. Whenever I try to walk right past a block, like, you know, squeeze past it, I always wind up knocking it off. That's alright, I don't need magic for the fight, so I'll just use this. Okay. And usually if I try to step back into that stairwell, I knock myself downstairs. Progression, please. That's not progression. Guess I got the tablets to check. Not bulky sanity. So we know that Aga. We know that Aga is not required in the set or the chests in Aga. I guess it's that time. We're getting close enough. I'm gonna go look at Lumberjack. I'm gonna see if my flippers are on Lumberjack. If they are, then we're gonna go whoop Aga 1's ass. And get my flippers. And actually, I can pull pendant while I'm here too, right? Or pull pedestal? Yeah. So, check the pedestal while I'm back here. Nope. Ooh. A little worried when I saw a tinge of blue. Okay, well, let's go check ped. See, did this somehow wind up as an oops, all dungeons? It could have. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna pull it. Not gonna read it. Just gonna pull it. Let's see. Was this oops all dungeons? Yes, it was. Alrighty then. Oops, all dungeons. Captain Crunch, oops, all berries. Yeah, well. Link to the Past. Oops, all dungeons. Alright, I'll see my way out. Alright, we are in go mode. There is nothing left required. Let's go beat Swamp. Swamp, Ice, quick pop in for Turtle Rock. GT and done. So, now of course with this being Oops All Dungeons, and me not being as fast as your average streamer slash speedrunner, at this point we're probably looking at about a, depending on if I screw this up, 245. And, well, there's one example of me screwing it up. Now I'd prefer to think I can do it faster, but we'll see. Now at this point, I'm not doing any further checks, so no left side swamp, any of that nonsense. I'm just making my way straight back. Hey! Say, how did I miss you? Alright. Of course, this is the, Futon's Pug HUD tracker, so there's no go button to click. I do need to learn to do Diver Down also. I know Andy put a tutorial video up on YouTube. I have to, it takes time to practice that. I do have the practice ROM. Oh! I try to not do that because then you can pick up the skull without having to do it first. Well, at this point, the only way that I'm getting out of this with a sub 200 check is if I get a really early GT key. If I get a really early GT big. Hey! How do you... Really? Really? There we go. Really? There we go. Well, I'm not coming in to check the big key chest. Alright, time for Meyer T-Rock. Oh, and of course I forgot to mark that off also. They should put me in the water, I believe. Yep, there we go. Alright. Refill my bombs and my arrows. Certainly have enough rupees to do it. And now let's go do Ice Palace. Just minimal checks to get through. Coming up soon, we'll see if I can manage the Ice Palace bomb jump. Trigger. That's right. Just means that I gotta hit the switch. I gotta remember to hit the switch when I go through the next room. Ooh, bring on the lag. I'll take that. Okay. Alright, I gotta hit that switch. And let's see if we can get this. No, come on. Let's try this. You did this earlier. You can do it. Come on. Oh, that was close. Alright, I'm gonna give this one more try. Alright. Next time. We'll get it next time. That just means I have to, it'll take me a little bit longer to beat Ice Palace. It's because I'm trying to rush, that's what it is. I'm being impatient with myself. Plus, I also would really prefer to not wind up at Vitreous, or not Vitreous, Cold Stare, with only 5 hearts. Even though I have red mail, you know. Still hurts. have the big key yet. Ah, come on. No, hey, I need that magic. Knock it off, anti-fairy. Oh. See, this is why. Come on. At this point, I'm brushing, and that's the problem. Because normally this is not an issue. Oh, that would have been awfully convenient. Quite safe. Don't hit this. Don't do exactly that. Ugh. First unintentional death. 2 hours and 4 minutes. And now I'm gonna need magic in order to go further, so this is gonna be interesting. Come on, give me some magic. Come on, give me some magic. No, I don't need bombs. Guess I'll kill these guys again. Hope for magic. Nope. Alright, I know there's some magic in the room where you fall down with the giant skeleton dudes. So I guess we'll go with that right now. I don't need bombs. I need magic. Darn it, is that still... Oh. I don't think I was supposed to hit that. Nope. You know what? Alright. Oh, we can try again. I'll take my time, try to line this up. Hey, look at that. Come here. Come here. There we go. Alright. Sweet! I would like some magic, though. Alright, so I accomplished the Ice Palace bomb jump. So now, we can just go right through here and not worry about... See? Push that right down there. There we go. And my cat is about to start crying. We'll see whether or not that gets filtered out or not. I'm expecting it to not get filtered out. And now he's rooting through a box. Because apparently that's what they do. Okay. Alright. Alright. Nice quick cold stare. And a map I do not need. Yay. Turtle Rock it is. Turtle Rock then GT. Glad I was able to do the bomb jump finally. Now, of course, half magic would be nice, but not a requirement. Hey, you know what though? We're gonna go with my luck here. There we go. We're gonna stick with my luck. I'm gonna fill up them bottles. Alright, now let's go to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock's already open, so I can just come up from the dark, from Dark East Death Mountain. Okay. I do think I want to change my configuration a bit and actually have the audio come out of my headphones so that I can hear just a little bit better. Some of the audio cues I'm missing because it's coming out of my normal speakers. Just work our way through. Don't need anything. Gotta hurt with Link, or in this case Donatello, going through those tubes. It's like ow, 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 ow. No, that's not the right way. This way. This is the way. This is the way. That's not. No! Okay. I was expecting to take the hit, but I just almost turned the wrong way. Or I did turn the wrong way and almost messed that one up. You bother me. Go away. There we go. Okay. There we go. And that one. Hey, that's rude. Okay. On to GT. Alrighty then. Here we go, GT time. GT guessing game. Between 1 and 22. Although I'm hoping for very low in that count. I knew something didn't look right. It marked my field. Oh, and I have that too. Two. Is it... No, but that's good, because I do need one of those. So, I'll take that. Another key. But now I just need the big key. That's not the big key. yet. Let's see if it's in Rando Room. Come on. Yay! And boop. Now I'm hoping I didn't screw up my key count and I have enough. I'm almost certain that I do. Well, of course. I mean, not that it really matters. They don't seem to do a good job of dodging when you throw skulls at them. You know, that seems to work in my favor. Or, you know, player's favor. Okay. I'm not going to use my magic because I'd prefer to have that for other uses. So. Prefer to hang on to the magic. So we're not going to use that. Now I know this could be done with a well-placed Samari also, but I have not been able to perfect that one yet. I really need to practice that one further. Didn't quite go close enough. There we go. stuck. And of course, I didn't fall down earlier to the original, so of course I was going to fall to this one, to Moldorm 2. Come on. There we go. Okay, now, I am going to open this chest, because in the event that I were to fall to Aga, that chest does not, Moldorm will respawn unless you open that chest. Alright, guess what we're doing? Because of these trolley ass mini helmets. I did not want to do that. I really did not want to do that. But I hate those mini helmets. Oh, they're so trolly. Hopefully I just don't get my, well, not really ass whooped, but you know. I got double at least. Yeah, when they're that far apart, I can't do that right. Alright, 2 more. Come on. Still 2 more. And there we go. Alright, on to Ganon. Here we go. Oh. This could in fact be... This could be a 230. This could in fact be a 230. Let's see. Not very good at dodging them, so I do it that way. Not bad. 1 hit from the fire bats. I'll take it. Port glitch. Nah. Come on. Okay. Come on down. Really? And... dead. Ganon is down. Hotkey push prepped. 227.47. Full seed, right? Wasn't too bad. It's an oops all dungeons, but wasn't too bad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see how this all plays out now. Let's watch some credits. while I drink some carbonated water. And check my phone. While that runs, I'm gonna take a look at some stuff. Okay. Alright, that's enough of that. Back to the stream. Okay. So, this is not my fastest 7-7. Defeat Ganon, but this is my fastest, Oops All Dungeons Defeat Ganon. Or just all dungeons, whichever way you want to go with that. Dancing pickles. Sure, why not? Oil? Okay. I mean, obviously I know it's the flippers. I hold the ped, but I don't quite get that particular reference. Must be missing something. Well, for anyone who may have popped in towards the end or in the middle or anything along that, I'm going to go ahead and I will get this uploaded to YouTube for most likely tomorrow. Have it up for anyone who wants to rewatch it, or of course you can rewatch the VOD right here on Twitch, whichever way you prefer. But let's we're gonna end up wrapping this up once we're done here, because I know I for sure like to see my item collection rate, but I also know that that's a pretty popular thing that that other streamers like to show off. So, and people like to see. So we'll make it that far. We will get to the final screen, and then we'll start wrapping things up for the night. Now I am planning to hopefully one night this week, maybe over the weekend. Actually gonna try and do a World of Warcraft stream. So far, I've only streamed Link to the Past, which I know my computer can handle. You know, it's nothing there. I mean, right now, let's see. OBS is using 1.1% of my CPU, and that's with the max 1080p, 6,000 bits, 60 frames a second, kilobits, 60 frames a second, and that's actually with my primary screen being a 1340 by 1440 ultra wide, and then it's being downscaled to the to 1920 by 1080 and all that hootenanny and happy horse shit. So with doing all of that, it's 1.1 to 1.4 that I've seen percentage hit to the CPU. So should not have any issues with being able to stream WoW. One fighter sword kill. Yes, that was blind. And then Master Sword was Moldorm. And then Moldorm gave me Tempered Sword. And then I found Gold Sword shortly thereafter. That was Mothula, I believe. And then the rest all died to gold. Oh, that's really not bad. 165 out of 216. That's not bad at all. I was actually thinking it was going to be higher than that. And 224, 1548 in game. Not bad. Okay. And I used a safety potion for Aga. Technically, I would have gotten away without it based on the amount of hits I took, I think. But then, of course, I took hits again and needed it there. So all is well. And at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. So once again, I am Pool Float G, or just Pool Float. But of course, that one's taken by someone else on Twitch, so I had to spread it out just a little bit. And thanks to anyone who popped in throughout the course of the stream. And I shall, in fact, see everyone within a couple days for sure. Going to try to do the Warcraft stream, but also definitely going to do some more Zelda streams. But for now, that'll be it for the night. So, see everyone later.